Hi gamers. That previous clip was probably a nice representation about what people think about when they hear the name Virtual Boy. You know, red and black graphics, fuzzy screen, difficult to use, you get a headache, stuff like that. But actually that was mostly just how difficult it was to capture video from inside the machine. It's quite funny when people really try out the Virtual Boy for the first time. They're quite surprised at how crisp and clear the image is. The 3D effect is strong and clear as well, and it really works. But of course the main reason why it was Nintendo's biggest flop ever was of course the black and red screen. It just didn't cut it in 1995 when this was released. The end result of course is that it never released that many games were released for it, only 22 in total. I got here 13 of those, so missing 9 games from a complete set. Sadly, among those 9 are several quite rare and expensive games, but I think I'll get a complete collection someday of the Virtual Boy. After all, it is some pretty nice Nintendo history. Quite a nice selection of different genres here, even though there were only a few games made for it, but they're all quite different from each other. Let's check out here what games I have. So, Galactic Pinball, like several other games, there isn't really anything too special about this. It's just a pinball game in black and red with, of course, the 3D effect added in. It does look nice in all of these games, but this is basically just quite a standard pinball game. But of course, pinball is a nice game to have on a console. Jack Bros from the cult developer Atlus, but this isn't an RPG like many Atlus games are. This is basically an action-adventure game. I don't know, kind of like Gauntlet. You go around a maze, try to find keys, defeat enemies, stuff like that. Mario Clash, one of the 2 Mario games released for the Virtual Boy, and this is basically you can tell how Nintendo was thinking about what can we do on the Virtual Boy that's, you know, kind of the same but different with the unique aspects of the Virtual Boy, and the end result is basically a 3-dimensional version of the old Mario Bros. Game from the arcades, where you have the green pipes on the top and bottom of the screen, and you're defeating enemies, but here you have the enemies in the middle here, and you defeat them by throwing a shell to and from the screen, and yeah, looks nice in 3D, even though the gameplay itself is it's quite repetitive in the long run. So there were no Mario platformers, sadly, on the Virtual Boy. Here's the second Mario game, Mario's Tennis. This was bundled with the machine, at least in the US. Not sure about if it was bundled in Japan as well. But again, like with the Galactic Pinball, nothing too special about this. This is a tennis game, quite competent at that. It does look nice in 3D when you're moving up to the net or the ball is coming straight at the screen. So it does look good, nice with 3D effect. But again, basically not too special on the Virtual Boy. Could be done on other consoles of the time as well. But still a quite competent tennis game. Panic Bomber, basically a puzzle game with Bomberman characters. Quite a standard fare. There are 2 wells here that you drop blocks down and try to clear your own screen. Then Red Alarm, probably one of the more special games on the Virtual Boy. And I guess you'd have to find some videos of this in action, but it's basically a 3D flying game, like kind of like Star Fox. Not sure if these are polygons, but wireframes and actual 3D graphics. You are flying around in 3D space, and the 3D effect is the stereoscopic 3D effect comes on top of that 3D as well. So probably the technically most advanced game on the Virtual Boy. Really nice space shooter. Then TNE Virtual Golf. Kind of the same thing here than with Mario's Tennis. It's a golf game. It's perfectly fine as a golf game, just nothing too special on the Virtual Boy. But here's a nice, unique experience only on the Virtual Boy, Teleroboxer. So this is a boxing game where both you and your opponent are giant robots, and the game is shot through your eyes, and you can see your fists there on the screen. And actually, let me pull up the Virtual Boy controller here. Both of these D-pads control an individual fist, so there's quite a bit of a nice tactical element, which one to use to block and which one to attack, and quite a unique idea for a boxing game where you actually control both of your fists individually here, and it looks really nice in 3D with the punches flying around and shot through your own eyes. So basically, when people think about Virtual Boy, they mistakenly think about virtual reality. That's not the case, but this is closest to virtual reality when it's shot through your own eyes, and you can see your hands and all that. So quite a nice experience on the Virtual Boy. Then, ironically, we have here a 2D shooter. Your basic top-down vertical shoot 'em up from Hudson, who have of course made many classic Star Soldier games, so they really know their stuff. It's a nice addition to the game library of the Virtual Boy to have a 2D shooter here as well. This does have some 3D elements incorporated to it, not just graphical, but into the gameplay as well, where your ship goes up and down on the field of play there. Looks kind of nice, and adds some variety to the shooting. And some more puzzling, V-Tetris. So this is closer to the original Tetris. There was also a 3D Tetris game that I'm missing. That was truly a 3D. Had 3-dimensional blocks, and which you dropped down to the playing area. So this is more of a classic Tetris here. But in those days, every machine needed to have a Tetris, so here it is on a Virtual Boy as well. Virtual Fishing. And Virtual Pro Yaku 95 baseball game. And finally, Wario Land. This is my only US version game. The others were Japanese versions, so this is how the games looked like in the US. And this is the best game on Virtual Boy, and still the biggest reason to own the machine, because this was never ported to any other system And this isn't necessarily good because it had some 3D effects that no other game had. This isn't really the best use of the Virtual Boy, but this is still just a really nice 2D platformer. Great Wario action and humor. The sprites are big and gameplay is quite solid. And yeah, again here quite ironic that the best game for the system is a 2D platformer, but there are some nice 3D effects and some gameplay elements also incorporated into the game. So it's not just a 2D game, but even though the gameplay is mainly 2D, but this is a really nice game and a must play for any platforming aficionado. Quite a fitting that Wario is the character that was the star of a failed system like the Virtual Boy, but that's just a twist of irony, I guess. But like I said, the Virtual Boy it's slightly better than its reputation dictates, and you really need to check it out if you haven't. Everybody is just bashing it on the internet, but you'd be quite surprised at how solid the screen and the 3D effect is when you try it out for yourself. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.